Imagine a plant that never rests. While others wilt, dry up, and vanish with the seasons, this one stays, firm, alive, blooming as if defying time itself. Now imagine not just one, but 12. 12 plants that ignore winter, mock autumn, and shine whether under pouring rain or scorching sun. They don't ask for permission, don't follow rules, and they're going to completely transform the way you see your garden, or even your home. Some of them carry ancient stories, used by healers, witches, and kings. Others may seem ordinary, until you discover what they're truly capable of. What unites them all? A secret most people simply overlook: the ability to bloom all year long. Get ready to see flowers where no one else does. Because after this video, you'll never look at a simple plant the same way again. Something's about to bloom inside you. And we're not just talking about flowers. At first glance, the geranium might look like just another porch plant, the kind you walk past without noticing. But what most people don't know is that behind its vibrant flowers hides an almost supernatural resilience. This plant is like a silent warrior. Even when the soil dries out, the weather shifts, or the sun scorches, it remains firm, its red, pink, or white flowers defying the seasons. And the most curious thing? It doesn't just bloom year-round. It seems to become even more vibrant when everything else fades, as if feeding off the contrast. But the mystery doesn't end there. In some ancient cultures, geraniums were used to ward off evil spirits. People placed pots at their doors, believing the plant could filter negative energy. Sounds like a legend? Try leaving a geranium alone in a forgotten corner. It'll keep blooming as if saying, "Nothing will stop me." And if you think it's just luck, wait until you see what happens when it's nurtured with intention. The geranium responds. It feels. And it blooms back exactly what it receives in care. And this is just the first one. The next ones will shake your sense of reality even more. There's something hypnotic about the hibiscus. Its large flowers in vibrant colors like blood red, golden yellow, and deep pink look like they came from a tropical dream. But what truly intrigues is its ability to bloom like time doesn't exist. Rain, heat, wind. The hibiscus ignores it all. While other plants pause, it bursts into color, as if saying, "I don't follow the calendar." And it really doesn't. Many grow hibiscus for its beauty, but few know the mysteries it holds. In the past, it symbolized both delicacy and power, a rare duality. In ancient rituals, its flowers were offered to attract love and prosperity. And maybe it's no coincidence that it blooms constantly, as if it's always offering something. The hibiscus is generous but also demands presence. It needs light, yes, but the secret is consistency. Those who understand this get flowers all year round. Some say the hibiscus listens, that if you talk to it, the flowers bloom faster. Sounds absurd until it happens. And when you see that first flower open, out of season, on an ordinary day, you'll understand. It's not just a plant. It's a living reminder that beauty can be persistent. There's something about the scent of frangipani that seems to pull memories from past lives. A sweet, almost sacred fragrance that lingers in the air even after the flower has fallen. But what impresses most is its boldness against time. In tropical regions, it blooms nonstop, like it made a pact with the climate to never fade. Its flowers appear in generous clusters, as if begging to be seen and felt. But don't be fooled by its delicate look. Plumeria is tough. It grows in poor soil, tolerates drought, and still blooms like it's in a divine garden. In Hawaii, its flowers are used in welcome leis, believed to carry healing and protective energy. In Asian temples, they're left as offerings at the feet of ancient statues. There's a spiritual aura around this plant, as if it knows something we've forgotten. And here's the little-known detail. Even when it sheds its leaves, Plumeria continues to prepare its flowers, as if saying absence is just part of a cycle. There's no real pause, only a secret dance between the invisible and what's about to bloom. To grow this plant is to hold a link between what's seen and what's felt. This plant may be named after a clock, but time doesn't rule it. Moss rose opens its flowers when the sun is at its peak, as if it only reveals itself to those truly paying attention. Small, low to the ground, almost unassuming, but that's exactly where its power lies. It blooms every day, all year round, even in poor soil and under intense heat. It's like a stubborn flame, refusing to go out. There's something almost magical in the way its flowers appear and vanish. Within a day, they open, shine, enchant, and then disappear, like part of a secret only the attentive get to witness. Maybe that's why many cultures associate moss rose with life's ephemerality and the importance of now. The curious part, even with such a brief cycle, it never stops blooming. Every day, a new chance. Every day, a new show. This plant is so resilient it even grows through cracks in concrete, defying neglect. A living proof that beauty doesn't need permission. It just needs a moment. And whoever grows moss rose learns a valuable lesson. Size and duration don't matter. What matters is showing up fully when the light arrives. And it always does. There's a quiet mystery hidden in begonia's leaves. While most people are mesmerized by its flowers, red, pink, white, or even orange, few notice that its real message lies in the contrasting leaves, sometimes streaked with silver or bronze. I am more than I seem. And it's true. Begonia blooms all year, as if immune to time's fatigue. Indoors or outdoors, in shade or dappled light, it adapts with an ease that's almost disconcerting. But don't think it's fragile. Begonia survives where many other plants wither. It seems to carry a quiet strength, a kind of elegant resilience. In ancient times, it was believed to offer protection, a silent guardian warding off bad luck and negative thoughts. Maybe that's why it keeps blooming, even in tough phases. And here's a detail few notice. When cared for attentively, begonia seems to respond more intensely. Its flowers get more vibrant, its leaves firmer, as if recognizing the bond. It's a plant that demands emotional presence, almost like it can feel. And in return, it gives you color, even on the grayest of days. Few plants balance beauty and toughness, like the Ixora. Also known as Flame of the Woods, this one is an explosion of color in small bouquets. Intense reds, fiery oranges, vibrant pinks. It seems made to stand out. But what impresses most is its consistency. Ixora blooms all year with no rush, no pause, like it's got a secret pact with the earth. It has a strong presence. In some cultures, it was used in purification rituals, as if it could symbolically burn away what no longer serves. Its name comes from Sanskrit, linked to temple offerings in India. There's something sacred in the way it stays strong, even in poor soil or blazing sun. It never gives up, and maybe that's why, as it spreads through gardens, it brings a sense of quiet strength. Ixora is also a plant of memory. Whoever had one in childhood almost always remembers. It's like the flowers hold memories, moments, and scents in their tiny cups. And when they bloom again, those memories return, not through the mind, but the heart. To grow ixoras is to plant emotional roots, an invisible connection that blooms with strength. Look at an allamanda in full bloom, and you'd swear it was hand-painted. Its yellow, almost golden flowers seem to absorb the sun and give it back in color. But what few know is that this sunny beauty hides a restless soul. Allamanda refuses to go unnoticed. Even when the weather shifts, when most plants retreat, it insists on blooming, and does so with an almost provocative intensity. Native to tropical regions, this plant loves to grow freely, climb walls, cover fences. It doesn't want limits. The more space and light you give, the more it blooms. But here's the most curious thing. Even in small pots or controlled environments, it finds a way to show its strength. It's like it says, "No matter where I am, I'll bloom." A living reminder of resilience. In folk medicine, allamanda was once used as a purgative, a plant that cleanses, that transforms. Maybe that's why it carries this energy of constant renewal. By blooming year-round, it reminds us there's always room to begin again, even when everything around seems stuck. To grow an allamanda is to keep a piece of the sun that never fades. Pentas looks like it came from a constellation. Its star-shaped flowers gather in dense clusters, creating tiny, colorful universes. Deep reds, hypnotic purples, soft pinks. But what truly fascinates is its loyalty to the cycle of life. It blooms constantly, as if refusing to go into rest mode. Every season it shows up again, as if time isn't an obstacle. It's fuel. It may be a subtle plant to the untrained eye, but it's stunning for those who understand its rhythm. Pentas attracts butterflies and hummingbirds with an almost supernatural frequency. Its nectar is nourishment, its presence an invitation. Having a pentas in the garden is like keeping a portal open between the visible world and the invisible, between nature and what we can only feel. But perhaps the most intriguing part is its form of resistance. Even in dry soil, even under strong sun, it stays firm, blooming with courage. It doesn't ask for much, just light and a chance. And in return, it delivers beauty all year round. It never announces when it will surprise you. It just shows up. And in that silent gesture, it reminds you that the most magical things don't make a fuss. They just happen. The name might sound strange, but the golden shrimp plant is impossible to ignore. With its bright yellow spike-like blooms, this plant seems made to catch the eye. And it does, all year round. No matter the season, no matter the skies, mood. There it is, standing tall, proudly displaying its flowers as a constant sign of living energy. But it's not just the looks that impress. There's something symbolic about a plant that grows in the shade, yet blooms like it's under a spotlight. It doesn't need full sun to show its color. It's as if it carries its own light. And that contrast between delicacy and resilience stirs something in those who see it. The feeling that even in the most forgotten corners, beauty may be waiting to emerge. People say this plant is associated with lightness and joy. But there's a deeper layer. The golden shrimp plant blooms even in tough times. Even when the weather gets harsh, when other leaves wither, it refuses to fade. It's a reminder that silent persistence can be more powerful than any noisy grandeur. At first glance, the desert rose seems like a walking contradiction. Its swollen, almost grotesque trunk looks like a sculpture carved by drought. Then you see its flowers, bold pinks, reds, whites, even hypnotic blends appear out of nowhere, as if born from sheer resilience. It's a spectacle that defies logic. How can something so delicate come from something so rough? Native to arid regions of Africa and the Middle East, this plant carries survival in its very structure. It stores water like it's always preparing for scarcity, and still, it blooms, all year. With an almost insolent calm, it waits for the right moment, then bursts into color, even when everything around it is dust and heat. Some say the desert rose teaches about inner strength, that its blooming is a living metaphor for overcoming. But it's also unpredictable. Try to control it too much, and it locks up. Respect its time and space, and it responds. It's almost a spiritual relationship. Each flower is an act of trust, and when you see that first bloom on a twisted trunk, you'll get it. This plant doesn't just want to decorate. It wants to tell a story. Your story. Lantana is the kind of plant that transforms before your eyes, and maybe that's why so many underestimate it. Its flowers change color as they age, starting yellow, then turning orange, pink, and finally purplish hues. It's as if each flower carries several lives within itself. And the most fascinating part? It does this all year long, no stopping, no asking for permission. In many places, lantana is considered invasive. It grows fast, spreads hard, and doesn't seem to accept limits. But behind this wild behavior lies a rare power, the ability to adapt completely. Harsh sun? It blooms. Poor soil? It blooms. Pruning, wind, drought, it blooms. Every hardship seems to make it more determined to show its colors. And there's more. Its flowers give off a sweet scent with a slightly spicy edge. A subtle reminder that beauty and intensity can coexist. To the ancients, lantana symbolized transition and transformation. And when you observe its cycle, you understand why. It shows, without saying a word, that change is part of existence, that it's okay to be one thing today and something totally different tomorrow. Vinca is the kind of plant that fools you. At first glance, it looks fragile, with its simple pink, white, or purple flowers. But behind that delicate appearance hides one of nature's toughest survivors. Vinca blooms year-round, even in the face of neglect, extreme heat, and harsh drought. It grows in cracked sidewalks, forgotten gardens, abandoned pots, like it's saying, "As long as there's life, I'll bloom." But Vinca isn't just tough. It's sacred. Used for centuries in traditional medicine, it contains compounds that are even used in cancer treatments. It's as if its mission goes beyond just beauty. It heals, transforms, gives. And all that without asking much in return. A little light, a little soil, and it blooms, tirelessly. There's something almost spiritual in this silent giving. Vinca doesn't compete, doesn't ask for attention. It just is. And because of that, it wins hearts. In a world that values noise, it chooses constancy. And in that constancy, it blooms all year long. A quiet reminder that true beauty doesn't need effort to be seen. It simply stays. You've just met 12 plants that ignore the calendar, challenge the climate, and bloom even when everything else seems to stop. But this list isn't just about botany. It's about resilience, about beauty that doesn't fade, about cycles that don't need permission to begin again. Each of these plants carries a hidden message, and if you were paying attention, you felt it. Not with your mind, but with something deeper. Because deep down, these flowers remind us of something. We tend to forget that it's possible to bloom even in the toughest soils, that life sometimes chooses unexpected paths to go on, and that if even a plant can defy the seasons and hold on to its beauty, maybe, just maybe, you can too. So now, look around you. Think about the pauses, the dry spells, the winters in your life, and remember these 12, because maybe it's time to bloom, even if no one expects it, even if it feels impossible. And if this video stirred something in you, share it with someone who needs color and strength. Because sometimes all we need is a reminder that it's still possible to bloom.